In this screencast, we're going to go through how to set up a multimedia assignment for your students. So the end result will be that your students will turn in a video file. I've renamed my test assignment Book Circles, and I'm going to go through how to set up this assignment so that your students can turn this in. What I would suggest doing is creating some printed instructions, but also going through and recording yourself. That way, it almost models for the students to process what it's going to look like in the end. And in order to do that, just a reminder, we'll need to click on that record/upload media. So I've already done that. In fact, my written directions are here. I've already recorded, and this will be available for you to view as part of an example assignment. So I go down here. I'll start with the options from top to bottom. We're going to want to make our points more than 0, unless you're just not planning on grading this, which I don't see that happening. So I'm going to set it at 100 points because that's what most people are going to set it at. If you've set up assignment groups, right now I have it, but you can choose kind of the category you want this to go in. If you want your grades to post over properly into your SIS, which is your student information system, then you're going to want to leave it at points. You can change it to percentage or letter grade, GPA scale, not graded, but really you want to keep it at points because it will communicate best with like your PowerSchool gradebook if you leave it at that. And since I'm wanting my students to record media and turn it in, I'm going to want to keep it at an online submission, but it does give you a lot of options, including no submission on paper or an external tool. And I want it to be a media recording. You could set it for multiple, so if you wanted to use an external site to record media, you could, or it could be a file upload. The students that are going to be using this are going to be using Chromebooks. So it's essential that you think about what device your students will have as well, because a file upload is not going to be something I want my students to do because there aren't a whole lot of things that you can do on a Chromebook that deals with a specific file on that device. So I'm going to want Canvas to actually do all the media part for me. I'm going to want them just to access Canvas for that, which is a bonus of using the Canvas LMS. There are no external tools you have to use. You can do it straight through the learning management system. This is not going to be a group assignment, so I'm going to leave that unchecked, but you can explore that feature at a later date too, where you can set up groups and they can work on it as a group. I don't want them to do peer reviews for this assignment. And then here's a very, very important thing, post grades to SIS. So if I want this to go into my PowerSchool gradebook or my external gradebook, then I need to check that so that I can post grades into the student information system. And then I don't want a moderator to be able to review my grades. This assign box, I want it to assign to everybody, but you can actually choose who you want it to go to. So I don't have anybody specific in this course, but if I did, it would be below the Canvas training course. You would see a list of your students. You could actually choose individual students you wanted to assign to. If you do choose individual students, though, you don't have the option to post those grades into the Student Information Center, your gradebook. So that'll be something to consider whenever you're setting this up. And then you have your due date. So I'm going to change the due date to, let's just say Friday, February 19th. And it'll even go down to the time. And then here's the important part. Let's say I'm setting this up well in advance, but I don't want my students to be able to see it. I want to go ahead and publish it and make it ready so that at a certain date, it'll show up. That's what this available from box is for. So I'm going to say that I don't want my students to see it before February 17th. And then I don't have to worry about setting the until date because the due date is set. I've set a due date. But let's just say I want to make it available until that due date as well. But remember, you don't have to set that. Now, once you're all said and done, make sure you hit save and publish, and then it is ready for your students to do. Just keep in mind, you will need to walk your students through the process of using that record feature, and they'll need a little bit of time to learn how to play around with that. Learn the volume button, how all this works, It's very, very simple to use and easy to use once they're used to it, but you will have to allow that little bit of time for them to get adjusted to using it.